like, subscribe, follow, comment, ask us questions.
Did you agree with this?
Hey everyone, this is Rob. Welcome to the Creators Pod. Today we're going to discuss audience engagement and see how we handle working with our audiences and keeping them engaged, responding to what their issues are, their comments are, how we manage this on a day-to-day basis. And I'm going to start with Keely because you probably have the most geographically diverse group of people, at least.
Definitely. And I have a very engaged group.
Audience?
Yeah. Well, it's something that I seek out because I've realized that with such a small niche, I'm not going to ever be about broad ranges of followers and have millions of people who follow me and then be able to, monetize any kind of offerings with them on sheer numbers. I have to really get in deep with people and make them love me, basically. Like I have to really pull them into my community and make them feel heard, make them feel understood, make them part of the whole process. So I have slowly, by trial and error, learned a lot of techniques. But one of the favorite things that I've started doing over the last maybe 6 months is using YouTube polls during my live streams. And I have somebody helping me with that now. So I've added them as a manager behind the scenes. And so when we look at a clip, for example, about a particular scenario from a match, I'll come up with a question and a multiple choice answer. And the first thing I'll do is I'll start playing the clip and say, all right, poll question up. What's your call? Is this a free hit? Is this a yellow card? Is this a penalty stroke? And, give them options. And then people vote. And it really is a great way to get people into the content because now they're invested in hearing what I have to say near the end. And I'm trying to guide a discussion around that rule, that scenario, whatever it is, I'm not trying to necessarily tell them what the answer is. I want them to sort of figure it out the right way so they get to the right answer by themselves, but with my help. And then, they want to see if their poll question was right. So then at the end of that segment, I'll end the poll. I'll bring the results. I'll literally screenshot the results, and Shotter's very good at this. I'll screenshot it and I'll pull it onto my scene on Ecamm, and then boom, people have that right there and they can see what the results are and we can discuss them. And it might be, oh my God, it's still 50%. Why is this such a hard call to make? And that sort of thing. And it's really been great for continuous engagement and people commenting on how the poll's going.
All right, so let me ask you a question. So FH umpires, field hockey umpires.
Yes.
You're on Discord. Almost said that incorrectly. Discord and on YouTube. Are those your two major? And do you have any other socials that support that? And at what level? I mean, where's your engagement? What's the highest level of engagement do you get next, down the line? For your particular audience, where do they love to talk to you at?
Well, they have to talk to me on Discord because I've made them. Because I don't have time to answer people on DMs and things like that all through the socials. So social media is just a way for me to get the message out that, hey, I'm doing these live streams on YouTube. And then on YouTube, that's where I speak to a more general community and hopefully people are discovering me there. But then inside the Discord, that's where we can really get into the nitty-gritty. So people will try out questions. They'll post them in the Discord and we'll have a pre-discussion before I bring them up on a live stream. Or there might be a post discussion after the live stream. People are like, I don't agree with that, or I didn't understand Keely's explanation. She's weird. And we'll work through it together. Or there'll be something that doesn't make it on the live stream because it's not interesting enough, but people still want to hear about it. And yes, it all funnels into the Discord because I've been very, very firm about how that's where I want my engagement to happen, because that way I can be many to many. and all the other members of my community can chime in and help out and take over, and it makes it possible for me to be able to give more value to all of those people at the same time.
So are you streaming to both? When you do your live YouTube events, are those going anywhere else? Are you sticking to YouTube, or?
I'm a one platform woman. I don't like multi-streaming. I don't want to do it, and it doesn't work for me because at least during the stream, I want everybody to be able to interact with each other there. But what I do is I go into a Discord voice channel before my stream starts and have a pre-show. And let's be totally honest, that's usually where I just sit there and try to fix the scenes that I start testing and that are broken. And, thank you to everybody who shows up for the tailgate as like, Keely, that we can't hear the sound, that thing's broken. And they help me diagnose the problems, which is really great. And they know that they're contributing and helping in the product. And then I go out to YouTube and I shut down the voice channel because I'm not good enough to be able to manage both at the same time. And then I come back into that same voice channel after the stream's over and we have more discussions. And sometimes we're talking about the content of the stream, but often it's more of the socializing time, like, hey, let's hang out and get to know each other better. So for me, it's a great combination.
That's a different level of membership for that, right?
I actually, when it comes to the pre and post of the live streams, that's open to everybody right now.
Oh, okay.
I have lots of other activities that are restricted just to people who are paying members. And that's where they get more of the really quality engagement from me and the determined mentoring and the structured content.
Is there any point where you think that you could use Discord as your only tool and leave YouTube, or is, it kind of goes back, where is your biggest audience? Where are they used to finding you? Could you provide them with the same production on Discord than you would do on YouTube? Nothing against YouTube, but
no, of course. I think it's possible, but I think there's just so much benefit for all of us to have our streams going out where they can be discovered. And I'm still, there are people who it takes them 3 years of watching my streams, and then they show up on my server and say, "Hi, I've been lurking for 3 years." And I'm like, where have you been? Am I that scary? Like, why did it take you so long to come say hi? And they're just not ready. It takes so many points of contact to develop trust with people that live streaming is such a valuable tool for that. And I don't want to give that up, because that is us going out on a sequence of dates, and maybe a very, very long sequence of dates before they pick up their toothbrush and grab the clean pair of underwear and then move into my server with me. And then we're in a deeper relationship.
Okay, that just got
I wasn't going to make it weird, but okay.
I make it weird with every talk I do about Discord, because that's the analogy I use. Thank you very much.
Thing all the time. The toothbrush
I
thing
do.
is
I
fantastic.
do.
I was
It's
going to
my
say,
jam.
Here's Keely's lurker of the week, but then she just flipped that over and, Okay. You've left me, questioning my self-worth. No, so moving on. So Rich, first, answer the question in for your promotions, broadcast is on YouTube primarily.
It is.
So, that's where I see you. That's where I see Keely. That's where I see you. What other platforms do you use for engagement just above and beyond YouTube, and how do they work together?
I quit doing the show live a couple weeks ago. It's more convenient to do it on a Wednesday night than Thursday during the middle of the workday. So I've made that decision. So I'm not going to do it live on YouTube anymore. We don't get that. We don't get hardly any traffic during the show, during the live show. And it's really, there's no reason to do it. I do get the stray comment here and there on the stuff I post. Most of the time I don't get much. I don't get much engagement at all. The shorts and the repurposed stuff that I put on TikTok and Instagram and Twitter and everywhere else, I do get comments and reactions there, but oddly it's from mostly other people in my industry, my competitors or my suppliers. It's not from customers. And I don't know if customers are lurking and just not saying anything. I have had customers tell me they've seen my stuff, but they haven't commented or reacted or anything like that. So I don't know. Maybe they don't want to commit. I don't know. Maybe they don't want to bring their toothbrush over. Maybe that's it. I don't have any idea. So I don't get much. I don't get much interaction. I do get the,
even if the toothbrush is got a nice logo embossed on it,
or bamboo, the whole thing. Yeah, they don't
bamboo, right? Something.
I do get trolls though. I do get some weird. Everybody gets the Instagram, promoted on military whatever or promoted on golf whatever. We all get those, but on YouTube I get weird ones that, the guy's been a YouTube member for 10 years and he doesn't have any videos up and, that kind of thing. And they post some weird random comment like, I don't know, just nice video or something stupid generic. And I just wonder what people are doing, what they're up to. So anyway, I do get that kind of stuff, but audience again.
Sorry about that. I'll stop commenting on your videos.
What are these people doing complimenting you on your videos? Nice video. What's your
it's not complimenting me. It's just very confusing. I mean, they don't. Yeah, it's just weird. I don't understand the end game. So,
well, Rich, when a YouTube viewer loves a YouTube creator, they never mind.
You know what I'm talking about? It's the random.
No, I
comments.
do.
Yeah, it's not.
Oh, I know.
Nothing constructive.
Well,
I mean, if they said something specific about what you said here at 112 was a great point, or this was stupid. If they would go either way and make a commitment, but they don't say anything, leave a generic comment. That's just, I don't understand the point.
Right. No, I get that. So. I get that a lot. Yeah, I understand that. So, Michelle, of all the different platforms, what is your primary? What is your support? And where do you engage with your people the most?
For me, it's YouTube. I'm on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Still new to the Instagram thing, even though I've been on Instagram forever. But it's let's not talk about it. I'm just there for discovery, and the same for Facebook. So I'm there for discovery. But I went all in on YouTube like 3 years ago. And at the time I was doing something different. So I have 2 channels, but the one that I've been focusing on in the last 3 years has been, my current branding channel. And I'm starting to see engagement, which, because for a while it was just like a lonely, very lonely place where you're out there, you're putting stuff out every single day and you're asking yourself, why am I doing this? I was like, why? But now it's funny. I started changing up my strategy a little bit and asking questions, leaving pinned comments and things like that, and asking questions within the video, where giving them a call to action to say, hey, let's talk in the comments below. And it's starting to work. So I'm actually in January, I did a blitz where I was doing a video a day for a challenge. And I'm doing the same thing now this month. And this is the most engagement that I've ever had, where we're actually going back and forth, answering questions, or, I'd get a really nice comment and then we'll go a little bit deeper. And it's just, we're forming relationships in these conversations, which is kind of nice for me because it's like, oh my gosh, I got a new pen pal. It's like remember back in the 80s when we had pen pals, right? So it's like, oh wow, I get to talk to someone else. So at some point, I do also have a Discord server. I'd like for things to end up there, but at this point right now, I just kind of want things to be a little bit more consistent. And it's coming. That's kind of happening right now. I kind of really just want to stay focused on YouTube. Just be a one platform pony, where I'll put stuff on the other places, but I really want to just focus it on YouTube and have all my stuff there. I mean, truly, it's just easier. Because it's a lot of work trying to keep up with what's going on in the Facebook land. And Facebook, for me, is a time suck. Facebook and Instagram and TikTok are time sucks for me. I know this. And I'm like, even though I know what it could do for your business and all that kind of stuff, man, ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah. No, I get that. During the campaign, having to interact with people, I didn't have the choice of what platform, it was thrown at me. And that could have been email. A lot of the times it was emails. But, all of a sudden I was getting Instagram comments. And, I'm a photographer, and you think that I would be more embracing of Instagram, but no, not really. And all of a sudden here I was trying to log into a Facebook, management tool that was written by children from hell, to try and comment on Instagram posts. I probably could have gone directly to the post, but they funnel you into this business management thing, whatever, and you're trying to respond to people. And let's be honest, we're not, we don't need more technology. We just need the technology that we have to work better.
I'm with you,
I think
brother.
the other thing,
that meta business thing is bullshit. I'm all about it. It's the absolute worst. No good.
Yeah.
Hate it.
The first thing I did when I could was deactivated all of my campaign stuff, so no one can comment to me anymore through those channels, and I'm very happy for that. I think the other thing that people do for engagement, and I'll stop here to make that joke, is that most of the YouTubers that I follow will just stop in mid conversation and say, "Hey," now remind you that the Creators Pod is both on YouTube and as a podcast, so this does not work well for us necessarily, but they'll stop in the middle of their YouTube video and go, "Hey, by the way, if you like my content, please like this video." Or they'll say, "Hey," they'll ask you a question that you can comment on in the comments. "Hey, I was mentioning my favorite cruise blogger, and he'll always go, 'Have you been on this particular cruise ship? Leave a comment below on what you thought." Whatever. Engagement. But you have to ask for that engagement. You have to ask for that, "Hey, I'm Rob. I'm on the Creators Pod. Thank you for listening today. I hope you listen to our next episode." That would be, to me, a certain level of asking for that next step, that engagement. "Thank you for listening today. We hope today was good." I'm not doing the end of the broadcast right now, but I'm specifically saying that there are points that we have to get out there and sit in and ask for that involvement directly while we're on the videos, and we can't just expect it in the comment sections. We have to ask for it in the comment sections. Now, Alec, tell me, all right, what platforms are you using? I know that you've got a class coming up that you're doing, and you've gotten a number of people signed up for that. But in your normal, everyday, day-to-day YouTube channel, what are the different things do you use? Do you have a Discord channel? Do you have how do you find people?
How do you let him answer the question, Rob?
Because I can't. I have to ask it first.
That's very true. It's hard to get someone to answer without asking first. But no, so I am on YouTube primarily. I do direct people to Discord. So the issue that I've got with YouTube, and in fact, one of the sort of motivators behind me putting this down as a potential topic was this whole idea of handling comments. And it's a little bit that in some respects, the YouTube commenting is a little bit broken because it only ever really tells you like the first comment. And unless you have, email notifications turned on and stuff like that, it's very hard to actually follow a thread of a conversation. So if somebody leaves a comment, you see the initial comments, I'll reply to it, but then I'm not getting notified necessarily like when somebody replies to my reply. And so that's like a little bit of an issue that I have with YouTube comments. So the Discord is obviously the best place to have a follow-on conversation about all of that. The idea of having all of these other platforms, though, a couple of you have mentioned like the idea of things being a time suck and managing all of that. That's the other thing that I really struggle with actually is just keeping on top of all these comments, like keeping on top of the YouTube comments. I'm actually well behind. Every so often I'll just say, right, well, rather than catch up. I've just got to start from the beginning and try and work my way back. I don't have as much of an issue with email management, but I see commenting when you've got like just a flood of stuff coming in, that it can be quite, to use the O word, like overwhelming in terms of like keeping on top of it all. And that's the issue that I have. That's the big thing that I have with comments, because I don't like to think that somebody's commented and I've not replied. But at the same time, as with everything, there is only a certain amount of time in the day. And how much time do you spend answering comments? Because a lot of the comments that I get, because of the type of content that I'm creating, are not just, oh, great video or something like that, or crap video, whichever it is. But they tend to be more things like, I'm trying to do this thing with Keyboard Maestro, and I've put these details in, and I want to do this, but then now this thing is not working, and this part of the macro isn't. Could you suggest a better way or something? Now, I'm not like tech support, obviously, but I do like to give full answers to these things. And that's where I really struggle, is like finding the time to say, I've got a comment. It's not just a case of, oh, thanks, thanks for the comment. I've got to think like, right, well, how much time am I going to actually allow for putting into a structured and organized and helpful response to that? And it's something that I really struggle with in terms of keeping on top of it. In fact, I'm not on top of it. I'll just put that out there right now. So that's where I'm coming from, really. And directing people into Discord is a much better way of doing this, because two things. First of all, there are potentially other people that can have their input as well. So although you might watch a video and then have some sort of comment, read the comments, and you might have some input. So sometimes other people will comment on other people's comments in YouTube. But actually, the benefit of giving somebody a really full response to their YouTube comment for potentially only them to get the benefit of it is a waste, really. So sending somebody into Discord where you can give a full response and then everyone else in there can see it as well is just such a much better way to handle these things. And so that's what I'm trying to drive people. I do get bogged down with people messaging me in Instagram Messenger, Facebook Messenger, especially in Facebook Messenger, where if we aren't friends, it goes into a separate bucket, doesn't it? That you've got to go through and have a look and say, all right, this is, and I get caught out by that all the time, that somebody has messaged me. And because I'm not checking Facebook Messenger, I don't tend to use that a lot. So if I don't see the little thing to say that there's a message in there, which doesn't show up if somebody is not a friend that's messaged me, I'll often not see it. And so that makes me feel bad that I've not responded to somebody who messaged me a week or two ago, because they've just messaged me on some other platform. There are too many ways to get in contact. So to your point, though, about the call to action, actually telling people, leave a comment, like and subscribe. I don't do that as much as I probably should, because I know that it does have a direct impact, because I'll be watching a video and I'll hear somebody say that and I'll go, oh yeah, I haven't done that yet. Like, subscribe. It's like, I do need that prompt. So it does work. I need to get better at that, but also be more conscious about telling people to, take the conversation over to Discord as well.
No, you have to ask that. You have to direct them toward whatever platform you want them on. And I see that, here it's the, I've got them over here in Discord and I have them over here in YouTube. We really aren't hearing the use of Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or, whatever the other platforms are. I'm a little surprised I haven't heard about LinkedIn. But, overall, in terms of what I do, it's really strange in my professional life. Radiologists like Twitter. They love Twitter. They're very engaged on Twitter. So for that particular part of my life, I have to focus on Twitter and seeing where they're at and what they're talking about, and then they post the case of the day, and you have to look at some x-ray of somebody whose hand has been blown up by something. The fun stuff. But you have to, work with them there. And they're not even on LinkedIn, really. They're not even, you would think a professional platform like that, a profession like that would be there. But no, they're on Twitter, and that's where I have to engage. So you go where they're at. I do know that a group of radiologists did start a Discord server, but unless you have, unless you are a radiologist a U.S. board certified radiologist, they will not let you in, which, okay, I get that. It's your clubhouse, kids. Have fun.
There's something else that a couple of you mentioned, actually, just to take it from the radiology pod to creators pod. When we were talking about commenting, and a couple of you mentioned about lurking. And there's this thing of people lurking, the people who are watching your videos and not actually interacting or commenting. And I've got to say, before I got onto YouTube, I had never commented on anybody's video ever. I just never done it. And I would go to YouTube, I'd consume all this stuff. And I don't know why I didn't. I would go there to learn something. And I just never commented at all on anybody's video. And it was only when I was doing it myself that I realized that, oh yeah, it's actually quite good feedback when people comment and leave, interact. And not only that, it does actually help, YouTube sees that sort of engagement as well. And I don't know why I was so foolish to have not sort of considered that side of it before. I guess I had a sort of different view of it, but I totally understand why people, the vast majority of people are watching. I don't know, it's like 10% or something might be the ones that are commenting. Same when you're on a live stream, you'll see that there are, however many people watching it. And then the names that are coming up is significantly fewer names than you've got actual viewers. So there is this thing of people lurking. And I don't know if some people feel, whether it's they're self-conscious about engaging and putting their name onto a video or something like that. I'm not quite sure why that is, but
well, social media is a dumpster fire, and let's face it, you can't make a comment on the internet right now, even if it's well-intentioned, without people reading it and taking it negatively somehow. And no one has, as Michelle says, no one has time for that. So,
that part.
If I really want to, she's right, Boo's right. If I really want to, message somebody about something, I will try and see if I can direct message them first. But, if it's Tom Buck or if it's, some of the other creators that I watch, I'll leave a message on YouTube. I'll make a comment on YouTube or whatever like that, because I know, at least the creator understands the source it comes from and whatever. And if they really had questions about my comment, they know how to get a hold of me. So.
You mentioned Tom Buck there. I've got a little funny way that my mind works in something specific that I noticed with him. So I know that he's obviously getting a flood of comments all the time. I know that he must really struggle with keeping on top of it. And so I actually don't comment on his main things, even to just say great video, because I know that Tom being Tom will go through, he'll like it, he'll want to respond to it, to acknowledge it. So I don't want to add to his workload, because I know that, with 100,000 subs and the amount of views he gets, he's probably inundated. So I specifically don't comment on his main videos because of that. However, I often comment on his Tom Buck 2 channel, because he's only got like less than 1,000, and somehow I see that as like, oh, it's a smaller channel, he's not getting as many commenents. However, right. It's still the same guy. So I'm still
yeah. The level of the importance of his second channel is, different. Or, in the case that he's got the subscriptions or a Patreon or whatever like that, you've got kind of a different level of engagement and commitment to him. That, and this could be for anybody that was a Patreon or a subscription or whatever, that they'll take the time out because you've been around for a while and you're financially supporting them. But yeah, I get what you're saying. I don't want to bother him that much either. But when he does make a dad joke and a bad dad joke, I do feel the necessity to call him.
Well, that's every video.
Yes,
that's every one of his videos, surely.
Definitely, yes. All right. Well, excellent conversation on this topic. We'll probably end up coming back to it because as anything we do, platforms change and how we engage with people change. And so we'll have discussions on this down the line. So thank you for listening today.
Thanks for hopping into our Creators Pod. If you enjoyed it, we'd love if you would subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and tell all of your friends. Check out the video version on our YouTube channel, Creators Pod. The Creators Pod is produced by C22 Media, Alec Johnson, Dina Taylor, Michelle Lawrence, Rich Graham, Rob Vaules, and me, Keely Dunn. Thanks, friends.
So obviously now that can be used against me.